Okay, so let's continue from where we left off. Okay, so now that we have this in our endpoint, so let's make use of this in our front page instead. So go back to page.tsx. Okay, so here's our previous statement. So we don't need this anymore because we know that this is actually gave us duplicate value, duplicate books. So let's copy this. So usually I like to test this first, and I will just use it here because to show things up on the front page is actually you're gonna need to see the layout and all those stuff. It's much easier to see things returned as a JSON. Okay, so here we're going to get this Newias book, and again, it's going to be in a different format. So if we go back and do the refresh, okay, we got complaint again. It's okay, we're going to fix it again. So now in our feature book, so at this point, if you remember, now we used to pass in b.book and then b.copy ID. But with the new information that we get, we actually grab the ISBN directly. So we actually can do this ISBN. Okay. And in the book card.tsx, we don't need to do all the list anymore. Actually, if you try to do, you get an error because we already passed in the name. So we can just do book.orders instead. Not sure if I do S or not. Okay, no S. Well, actually, maybe an S. So orders. Yeah. So now, see, much easier. Okay, so I promise you that we're going to have a new section. Okay, and that's going to base on it's going to be popular book. So that's going to be based on, I'm not using loan because it's too much information. So that's why I have borrow stat here. So I'm actually going to show the book, actually 6 books. So all of these actually with the um with the books that most borrow. So basically, let me do insert with another book, insert a row. And let me grab something that is not in there yet. Let's do fake book 22. So 2025-09. So 2 times. So that wouldn't show up. Okay. So now that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I want 6 book. Okay. So the newest one pretty not showing up. Okay. So I'm going to use this instead. So which is the most borrowed in popular in September. Let's pretend that we're still in September. Okay. Yeah. So let's use that instead. So now we're going to go back to page.tsx, and then let me see. There you notice that we fetch one, and then we have this section. So I'm going to have another section. So this is going to be popular book, and that's going to base on the borrow stat. Okay, so since this one is actually pretty straightforward, so we can go back to do the normal select from the Superbase client, because we're just going to grab the book information based on ISBN, and this not going to have duplicate book anymore because it's 1-to-1 to the book. So we're going to do the selection. Okay, so we do data again. So this we're going to put in popular book, and error Here I'm going to put it into error 2, so that I'm going to change this to error 1, so that it won't cause problem for us with the duplicate name. Okay, so this is going to be await superbase dot from. So here we're going to use borrow stat at the starting point. Borrow stats, that's good. And then we're going to select, well, I only need ISBN and borrow count. That's actually just for sanity check. We don't even show it up. And then we need to join book. Now we only need title. And then we need order. And we only need name from order. So that's it. I don't need that one actually. Wait, I need the tick instead. Okay. Does it change for me? Wait, no, don't do that. Yeah, I need the back tick. Don't use the single quote. Nah, don't use the single quote. Use back tick for that, just to be safe. And then we're going to order by borrow count. And again, we're going to do descending order because we want the one with the maximum value to come first. So it's ascending false. So that's the tag. And then we're going to limit this to 6. This is actually pretty similar to the previous select before we do the view. Okay. So here I'm going to do the same thing with the error one. So if there's an error, let's show it. Now, you would notice that the data that we get from here going to have a different format as from what we want. For example, here, book information, the title going to be in book object. And then this is going to be an array instead of string. So yes, we're going to have to format it. So I'm going to change this to pop book. And I'm going to map this. And we're going to take in B. Okay. And we're going to return new object. So actually, for some reason, this gave me the incorrect parameter. So it recognized me as having property ISBN borrow count book, but for some reason, it recognized book as an array, which sorry here as an array, which is actually incorrect. So I'm going to make change to the book type to any, just so that I can access title and other properly. So I'm going to do book as any equal b dot book. I just don't want to see the compilation error, that's all. If you don't have this, actually the code would run, but you will just see compilation error. And names would be book dot order dot map. So this is, if you remember, this is the same thing we did in the other page before we change this to view. Okay, so now our information is ready, so let's return a new object with a property ISBN, the value b.isbn. Then we have title, which is book, value book dot title, and other, which the value of names. Okay, and then we put this to feature book instead. Since we make the same API, we are the array that we return here in popular book has the same API as what we have in newest book. So we should not have to make change to the feature. Yeah, we don't have to make change to the feature book component and the book card component. So here we get another list with here clean code and interaction of color. Okay, and here we don't have duplicate book anymore. So great. So when we click on this, well, it's a book not found because we have not modified this route, this page.ts yet. So here our book going to pass in the ID as a parameter, um, as a parameters. Okay, so we're going to read this, and at this time it just use the dummy component. So get book by ID. So let's modify this. Let's modify this so that it show book information from the table instead. Okay, so let's go back to this, and we actually gonna copy that import again. We're going to copy the import again. So let me grab this, and we're going to put it right here. And I'm going to here before return here. So if there's no book, we return book not found. If there's a book, we return this particular section. And before that, since this is a server component, instead of doing this, we're just going to grab book information instead. So this would be similar to what we did before. So let's, I'm going to go to page.tsx. I'm going to go to page.tsx and grab part of the code here because we're going to need it. Okay. And this is going to become a sync function here. So that's going to become a sync function. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to get the book by ID. So we're going to get the book by ID. And then we're going to, I'm trying to remember the schema right now. So actually, let me show you the database schema here, book. So here are the information that we have: publisher, public year, language. Okay. So let's look at this schema a little bit. Okay. And basically, we're just going to select from it. We're going to select from it. Yeah, fair enough. So I might Do I need other again? Yeah, probably going to need to join other as well. So that's book. So we're going to select from book. From book. Select star. Fine. I will need other name. Oops. I need this. It's at the end here. Okay. So that should be our book. And then I will need the error handling here. Okay. Cannot fetching book info. Error 1. Okay. So if there's no book, um, if there's no book, it will just show me the error here. If there's a book, it will just give me information. Okay, that's all good to me. So book, um, it think of this as an array. Yes, because select has an array. So I will do const a book equal book dot okay. So we if we do select like that, we actually going to get information with all the book. So basically we're going to do equal. Okay. So column and the value. So the column that we need is ISBN. The value that we have to pass in is the ID. Okay. So hopefully this is correct. Let me check the syntax a little bit. Okay. Let me see. This string param.id actually. Thai prop. Oh, S. Okay, that should be all right. Okay. So we take in param. We're actually going to get the ID. So that will return us a book. So let me I actually kind of expect that this is going to give me an array again, but then if you remember sometimes the client kind of mess up between the object and the array. So let's see how this goes. So here let's do view. It's a book not file. So let me check some more tools. Web developer tools. Actually, it didn't show me error. So if not book, um, um, let's see. I'm trying to see what happened there. So what I'm going to do is here I'm going to console.log. Okay, so that page.tsx. Um, some reason it didn't show me anything. Why? That was it didn't go well. Okay. For some reason it did not type anything for me. Oh, I know. I have to see here. It does give me the information. Okay, that's why it doesn't show an error. Okay. Um, it's an array. It's an array. So the assumption that is an array is good enough. Okay, so console.log actually because it's a server component, so obviously yes, it pretty should show up at the server. So that's good. Okay, so that's a book. So how come this book actually has value? Book actually have value. So why does this return book not found? So actually let me comment that first and see how it goes. Um, get book, add, let's see, intro. Let me change the book so that I know. Let me do 1984. Yes, it fetched the information properly. It keeps saying book not found. Why? Oh no, it actually already showed up. Yeah, I thought that it's a book not found, but it actually already show up. I just haven't organized the information nicely, so that's why it looks strange. Okay, so that's not what we want. Let me. Hmm, I'm trying to think of the reason why it's always return me this even though we have information here. um or did I didn't save? I pretty forgot to save when I make change to the other part. So yeah, we're fine. Okay. I think I pretty forgot to save before I run. So here we got an array. So if you notice this, if you see the square bracket, so we got an array because we do select statement. So here inside, we need this particular object. So that's why we do a book is equal to book 0. Okay. So we're going to have to organize this nicely and then show the properties, which actually I think I have it somewhere. I have it somewhere. Let's wait a little bit. Let me find where I organize stuff. For some reason, I cannot find. Okay, there. So we are going to do section class name. That good enough. So if we have book.cover, we're going to show the image. We have class name, cost span tool, front bow, selective. Because we don't have a book cover at this point, so that's why I think that's why they show the alternative, and we can show the other information like we have title. I'm going to change this to H2. What else can we show in there? We have title, we have publisher, public year, language, and then we have a list of other. So publisher, pub year. Apparently too big. Huh? Okay. P pre B. All right. So let's just do P. Let's just do P. And we actually don't have description, so we don't have description. So let's take that out, and we actually have to replace this with order later. Okay. So here, um, so right now it's actually pretty ugly because there's no image. But we can see the basic information. So I'm going to stop this right here, okay? And then in the next video, we're going to do how we do the upload image uploads. Actually, not upload yet. We're going to do the image download, and then we do the upload later, okay? So see you guys later in the next video. Bye.